That was fun.
Yeah.
With good old
Are
4D10 and a
are you
con
good
save
to
of 21.
Yep. My
good
mics are
roll
hot.
over? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to some Dungeons and Dragons. We are here back in Tomb of Annihilation after gosh knows how long.
Yeah, it certainly took a while for all of us. So what was it? New jobs, businesses, being burnt out, and depressive episodes. That's pretty much about it.
Wait, whose
Lots
business
of
got burnt
craziness.
out?
I don't know.
But we are back and joined by the normal crew. Everybody's here. Digi, Chun, Kari, and Kitsu.
I resent the implication that I'm
Konnichiwa.
normal.
Nobody is normal here. We're all just a
Konnichiwa.
we're all just a little bit off.
Yeah. Like that one episode
Sitting
of I
here.
Love Lucy, where they're talking to a producer who's big into numerology, while Lucy has been dabbling in it lately. And he says, "I'm a 1. Oh, that's interesting. I'm a 3." Ricky looks over and says, "I'm a 5." The producer just sort of stares at the camera a little bit and says, "Oh, we're all odd, aren't we?"
But all
In
right.
case anybody isn't aware, I love Lucy. Go find it, watch it. It's better than the slop on today. Yes, it's from the 1950s. I don't give a flying fuck. It's good. It's funny. Watch it, or I'll find you.
You
Granted,
heard
that's a
it here
lot.
first,
That
folks.
is true for a lot of old shows,
Oh, very correct.
like Match Game.
Oh, old 1970s match game. Oh, yes.
But yes, as of the last time that we were playing, you guys had recently just fought a troll.
Yep.
And after some different levels of craziness, there was some exhaustion going on. Um, the troll didn't want to stay down until it did.
And I cast about 25 firebolts at it. Look, it
The
even says
party,
it says 25 and 25 on that firebolt test roll I did. So yes, it's canon.
but the party makes it out of there. And that was only your midday encounter.
Yippee, Skippy.
Have we ever
So if
said that this
everybody's
show is for
buckled
the
in and ready
birds?
for some
Yes, and
craziness,
we'll keep saying it till
we
it
shall
gets a
continue
laugh.
on.
Well, apparently the show's for the birds, so
Thank you for reminding me that I failed to actually make sure my alerts were working. So if those don't work, I am not fixing them now.
Let's see if mine are working. Spin the wheel of anime.
that's literally the heckle that popped up.
I know, I saw it.
Mine are working. At least they seem to be. Cool. Okay. You guys will travel on back through the jungle. Um, Still confident you are heading towards Hakla. And
That being
as
said, our
you
wisdom rolls for survival have been so terribly pants, I wouldn't be surprised that we didn't find ourselves in Cur Sabble before anything else.
you find yourself um along a what actually turns out to be a small path of some kind. Seems to be worn down. Animals may have been trampling it. You can definitely see some larger animal prints, some goblin footprints mixed in along amongst them. But it does make
Oh,
traveling a
right.
little bit easier. And as you're walking along, you see some figures off in the distance approaching you. And almost immediately, what jumps out to you is they are led by a wizard or some person looking like a wizard in a red robe.
Oh, these
Ah,
fellows again. Oh, same as always. Respect the Thayan wizard, and none of us join his army of undead.
As they approach you along there, they actually give the wizard, the three guards, and the four skeletons all give you each a curt little bow as they walk by you, seeming paying you no extra mind.
I
uh,
Diggory politely, yeah, oh crap, what's the word? Responds and is kind, and continues along his way as well. Just two groups doing things we don't need to fight.
Shauna does the same thing, but is also looking a bit confused. That was like one of the things that she was not expecting.
I'm not entirely sure what you are expecting anymore. Dinosaurs, zombies, trolls, frost giants, rings of ice, these Thayan wizards, talking hornbills. Like, I'm fairly certain there's very little left this jungle could possibly throw at us. I say, understanding entirely well that this jungle is likely not thrown the worst of the things ever. As I now think back at that god-fucking Mercury dragon.
After a few moments and walking by, you hear some clanking of some metal from behind you as you peek back and actually see one of the guards from the red wizard that is passed by, rushing up to you. A actual look of he looks actually happy as he's approaching.
Huh?
Intriguing proposition. Sir Knight, what is this pleasure?
Yeah, I definitely not tonight, just somebody on the road. But to help you on your journey, he hands over a couple of potions to you.
Yay, potions.
Hmm. I would gladly accept that. To to what do we owe what do we owe this illustrious gift?
Just to help some fellow adventurers with their quests. Uh, you'll find a potion of mind reading and potion of invulnerability here. The best of luck.
Well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
The best of luck to you and your party as well. Hmm,
Mhm. Wait.
really, we'll have to be mindful if we find something that to return this favor. Should we run into them again?
After he gives you a bow again. Looks each of you individually in your eyes, and then heads out, heads back towards his party.
Hmm.
Is it kind of strange?
Exceptionally so. Most
Pretty
Thayan wizards are
stuff.
certainly not known for their generosity, never mind their ability to just let people by without any sort of, well, taking their skeletons.
Yeah, they probably did that to the last party. That's why they already had the skeletons.
Hmm.
Probably not at the point of where they need to get new ones yet.
Probably not. But it is definitely a thinking situation indeed. If there is a way to get on their good side after this, it would be a boon for us to find some way to repay it. Although, that being said, I begin to think maybe that's just a disguise. I have nothing to go on that, but oh well. So, the boat's not getting any lighter. Have I mentioned I'm still carrying the boat lately?
Nah.
I think you're enjoying it.
Well, it's definitely a way to keep certain muscles going. Although the sooner we actually are able to use the boat for a while, the better I will feel. Anyway, who's going to be carrying the potions?
Mm, I think
Okay.
you have some good use with them.
Alright, okay. It was a potion of mind reading and invulnerability, you said, right?
Potion of mind reading and potion of invulnerability.
Oh,
Yes.
yep, okay. Mind reading, add to my backpack. Invuln backpack. Alright. Actually, I might just put it in the bag of holding, actually. That's probably a better place of putting him.
The party will continue on down the path, and you find yourself into a what looks to have been a very unnatural clearing, as there's a bunch of trees that have been knocked down. Um, it looks to be kind of like an area where a larger creature, two or three, either have fought or have at least pushed down a bunch of trees to kind of make it a little bit more open area. But it doesn't seem to have been occupied by anything for a long time. As you approach, a bunch of small wildlife birds and stuff like that take off or scatter along the forest floor. You look up and find yourself that the sun is setting pretty well, so it is time to set up camp.
Hmm. That it certainly is. Alright. After all that, I'm just going to get what sleep I can. 2 days solid.
Nobody asked you to stay up the second day.
Nobody did, but nobody was of a mind to be responsible enough. Nah, no matter. We made our choices, we deal with them as we can. That said, part of that will be sleeping for me.
Yep.
Sounds like a good idea. Plop, plop.
Luckily for the party, your night passes restfully and uneventfully.
Yay.
Wait. Oh, wait.
Long rest. Cover
Long
one level of exhaustion.
Wait. Plop.
Alright, well, good morning, everybody. Now, the eternal question, the 64,000 gold piece question. Where are we going, and what direction is it?
How high
Yeah.
and how low are we going?
Oh, I thought that you were going to ask if the other two that actually have strength would actually carry the boat for once.
After a while, you get used to it. Besides, it's actually it's a very nice boat. Anyway, hey, let's just get a move on.
Yep, who's
I
ruining your
was
survival find?
trying to guide us west to Atan's Kahatla,
Yeah,
but
and you do have the highest survival.
But
we should keep going that way then.
Attempting to.
Yep. One of the problems of being a scholar. I know how to follow these things, but following them with the practice proving to be far harder than the theory.
And that's a 13 to try and guide us to our current destination.
thirteen.
Okay.
13.
Uh, ugh.
You swear you know which way you're going, as you confidently set off in a what you swear is the same direction that you've been traveling for days. And
I don't want to bother anybody, but the restaurant is at the other end of the universe.
and
Oh
according to a
no!
Dune's great sense of direction, you are indeed still traveling in the same direction that you were the other day.
Oh, boy.
And what really concerns me that this token hasn't moved for literally like 2 sessions. Not 2 days, 2 sessions.
Don't worry about it.
Watch
Even
us
before you
end up
said
in
that, I was worrying about it.
watch us land in like Sky Lizard Mountain or something like that.
I'm more worried about landing in the Underdark. Or
Don't
worse.
Oh,
worry.
dear goddess.
Don't worry. We'll end up in Fort Belluarian.
We'll be right smack back in front of that Mercury Dragon again.
I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if we find ourselves in Icewind Dale. Literally, probably one of the farthest away places we could be at this point. All right.
You find yourself on a cart traveling over some snow-swept plains, up and over a hill, and somebody says, "Hey, you're finally awake."
God damn it. It's not
You were
even.
trying to cross the
It's not
border,
even.
like
It's not even a. It's not even a current year relevant Oblivion joke. It's still goddamn Skyrim.
Uh,
You,
all
I've
right.
seen you in my dreams.
Knowing what people make for their dreams, I am surprised
They
about
aren't
that.
nightmares.
And unfortunately, they went too far with the Khajiit. So yeah, the Khajiit are definitely nightmares. So the same thing with the Argonians.
Yeah.
Have you seen what people do with orcs?
Yes.
Have you seen what people do? Just full stop. I thought some of my friends were creative in doing shit in Dark Souls 3, but holy crap.
oh, I love what Tom Fox did and turned Kronk into a Goron.
Neat.
So the party will take off from their camp and head over in the direction they do believe was they were supposed to be headed out. You travel for a good chunk of the day, getting to um about midday before you come and find yourself in what seems to have been a somewhat recent battlefield. Trees are knocked over. There are dark patches of what you can only assume to be blood. The body of a couple of younger triceratops lay in their spots, and pinned to a tree on the far side is the body of what looks to be a half orc warrior with a horn gored through his center and broken off, keeping him pinned to the tree.
Well, I'm sure he died the way he would wish.
I think that I'm gonna be sick to my stomach.
Don't be just yet. I might I might be obsessed with getting a Tyrannosaur skull, but I'm also not going to turn down free Triceratops horns.
Oh, hey, appreciate.
I mean, hell, you could turn one of those skull plates into one doozy of a shield, I'm sure. Or perhaps maybe a chest piece for Ramira.
I'm sure she wouldn't mind.
I'll pass.
Tis but, just a thought. Just imagine a dwarf barbarian charging into battle with two Triceratops skulls upon your shoulders. An imposing figure, certainly.
I do better without armor.
Who said it was armor? That's decoration.
What is the party doing in the area,
Uh,
if anything, or moving on?
Legitimately, the skulls are too much to carry. Whatever. I am going to try and get a few of the Triceratops horns if at all possible. Why? I don't know. I'll think of something.
I mean, you can pull the one out of the half orc pretty easily. Well, with a little bit of work, but with your strength, it's still overall easy.
All right, I'll take that and
He
go over.
collapses to the ground, and as he collapses, you notice at his feet there is what you're going to assume was his weapon, a very large and ornate maul.
Well, I beg your pardon, sir. I don't believe you will be needing this. I'm going to pick that up as well and look it over.
It's even for you, it's actually quite heavy. Um, Not sure exactly why. It still feels balanced for a giant sledgehammer, essentially. Um, but it does feel like it is a little bit heavier than what would expect for a weapon of its size. It is
Interesting.
intricately detailed in certain spots. The There are gold inlays snaking all the way throughout it. It seems like something that by the status of the armor that you grabbed it off of, he shouldn't have had, or maybe was looted from something, you're not sure.
Hmm. Very intriguing. Cannot wait to get to identify this later.
One moment, I have a call coming in, unfortunately.
Oh, no worries.
Identify.
Well, You know what? Well, if he's taking a call, I shouldn't identify it anyway, because I still need to be told what it is. Hmm.
Now, the thing I was kind of thinking of was a hammer of two Triceratops top skulls.
Oh, now that's an idea as well. Too bad Rote's not around. I would. That certainly would be an interesting bit that would probably get him excited. If
I
for
mean,
no
what
other.
all you need is rope and a stick.
True, but the forged
Boom.
cleric could actually turn it into something that wouldn't shatter them after one use.
It's a Triceratops skull. It's the hardest part of its head.
Agreed. Just gonna go over and just beat a drum beat tattoo on one of the skulls.
I've returned.
Yeah, don't worry, we're just mucking about with dead dinos.
The dinos come back as zombies.
I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised. The drum beat tattoo on their skulls immediately turns into a solid straight punch.
No, not actually, but
Yeah.
anyway, hey, you found a mall. You got yourself a nice big old Triceratops horn. Um, Pray tell. Anything else you are doing before moving on?
Hmm. Unless somebody wants to try, unless we want to see if we can find something more about this unfortunate. Then I think we should think moving on is as good a point as any.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm
Okay.
going to say
Guess
move
we
on.
move on.
So the party moves on, um, and travels most of the rest of the day, mostly unaccosted. There, you do run into a few um, small packs of herbaceous dinosaurs. They seem to kind of pay a little bit of attention to your party, but then move on peacefully by you. Luckily, the day goes pretty uneventfully again for this one. You have seemed to be lucking out, at least on whatever path you are going down.
Hmm. Well, if we're going to be taking a camp after that uneventful day, I'm going to take a bit of time and ritual cast Identify on this new mall.
Okay, get that out.
Do-do-do. Just taking my big ol' ox finger and just going over the gold inlay, trying to figure out the whatever patterns or symbolism that could potentially be within it. Feeling the heft one more time. Per- Perhaps contemplating what metals I know of that could possibly be this dense and heavy. It's certainly not
Why,
not iron. I'll,
as you finish your casting of Identify, you find that this is a mall of terror.
I'm back.
Oh. Mall of Terror.
Mall of Terror? I knew that malls were dangerous.
Well, they're a hammer as big as I am. I would be surprised if they weren't.
Especially coconut malls.
Da da
Yep, it
da da
has.
da 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 da.
It is a weapon that you have 3 charges with it. You can spend 1 charge as an action to release a wave of terror that each creature of your choice within 30 feet must succeed a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you for 1 minute.
Slam it down with an earthquake, causing everyone to
Alright.
go flying and run in terror.
Alright, 3 charges, creatures of my choice within what range?
Here, I'll just put it in. Put it in the general chat, or I'll put it in the notes.
Okay. This actually must be from Tomb of Annihilation, then that's why it's not in my lists. Alright, good
No,
enough.
it's straight from DM's guide. It's was originally a Mace of Terror, but I just upgraded it to Maul.
Alright, fair enough.
Oh no! Avalanche!
Add that to equipment and make a few adjustments. Considering a maul does exactly twice as much damage as a mace on average. Alright, so don't mind me, and we can just keep going.
Well, the night goes uneventfully as you find yourself with a nice full night's rest, and you wake up ready to set out for the day with a brontosaurus just kind of moving in front, just inside the forest line, just in front of your camp. But all right, let me know um, who's going to be rolling your attempt at survival. Your to see if you can find out where you've been, where you're going, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like
Oh,
going
wow.
alone. Oh,
Well, okay then.
Oh, Shauna will step up, and I can take care of this for a little while here. Oop.
I was
And
gonna
now,
say
how far off track are we?
I want to chaos, but it ended up.
At this point, good rolls are chaos.
That's where you're at currently. So, which direction do you want to actually head in?
Well, we could try to go southwest since we veered in that direction. the Atazi Yaklawazi. Yaklawazi.
Hmm.
The Valley of the Lost Honor. At this point, we might as well have lost honor.
We certainly haven't found our direction, hardly. Why were we going to Ataz Kahakla anyway? Was it just because it was closer?
I
Uh,
do believe so at the time.
Alright, so let's just keep going southwest since we're already close. Since Omu was technically where we were agreed to go to, and we find ourselves at Ataz Yaklawazi, that's another matter entirely. Plus, if we get lost, we find ourselves in Kahakla, what's the difference? It's
Okay, let's see what happens throughout the day.
We
especially
might
since we
as
apparently
well
moved
find
into an
us.
orange area of danger.
Might as well just find ourselves in Haka Hairball.
Why not just Samarak? I'm not even sure that's Chult anymore at that point.
That would be really hilarious if there was a place called Haka Hairball and it was all kitty cats. All cat people.
You do realize that my setting that I've been using for my in-person game technically has an entire like sub-civilization of tabaxi or cat people. Why didn't I use that name? I'm going to now.
The party will continue on, marching down, now confident in exactly what direction, now knowing where you are and how you got here, and you're still amazed that you are actually kind of going somewhat the right direction. Not the way you wanted to, but the direction that you are being pulled toward.
Uh-oh, Peter-kun, you fell asleep.
Hmm? Sorry.
You fell asleep.
I didn't realize I was so dull.
No, I said I've been up since 1.
Sure. All good, man.
This is going to be a little bit of a shorter session anyway, just so because craziness and a little bit later start.
All fair.
But after a little while, the jungle opens up into a small little grass field. Some stumps are littered all over the place. That it seems less like this area has been cleared by nature and cleared by people as chopping down trees for something. But the grass has grown over it, grown quite high. And in the middle of the area, there are about 18
Nah, he's just unemployed.
hadrosauruses
You should go to work. Try to make something
milling
of
about.
yourself. Like what? Guacamole.
Those who need bad guy, but
I believe we're talking about duck-billed dinosaurs, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think so. Quick, call a.
Well, it's not like Memes is here to give me one of his scaly pictures.
No, I was going to say, quick, call a 6 to 9-year-old boy that is interested in dinosaurs. They'll tell you.
Ah, one of my little cousins.
Yeah.
Quick,
Because
phone a friend.
you know for a fact they know exactly which one it is. They will tell you if it's wrong.
Yep. He certainly will too.
it is not a. It is not a. If I show this to you, will it give you the character, the stats, or the actual image? Let's see. It shows the
Okay.
bio and info.
Sure.
Ah.
Alright, I was wrong. And not at
And
all uncommon occurrence.
there are about 5 very young-looking hadrosauruses milling about the group. A couple of them playing together, running into a few of the adults who look at them annoyed.
Wide berth.
Civilization of dinosaurs. Cool.
I don't know about civilization. A pod or a herd at the very least. But any sort of animals, especially of that size, with young, we're all crazy. I don't suppose we're that crazy.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Looking at Idun.
What?
I think we should veer away from the group of dinosaurs. Who knows? Maybe they will leave us alone.
I'd recommend that taking the long way around, keeping perhaps just outside of the clearing.
I mean, you don't want to go over?
I'm perfectly willing to rob the dead corpses of a triceratops that's already dead. I'm more than willing to kill one if it's charging us. I'm not willing to take on an entire angry herd seeking for the sole purpose of protecting their young.
Got it. You go around, I'll go over. Have fun.
The winged.
As you clear path and continue on, the day becomes long and the sun slowly starts to set. Um, who has a passive perception of higher than 12 or higher?
I do.
I do. I have a 13.
Nope.
12, yeah.
I got 12.
10.
Okay, so I think Les has a higher passive perception too.
Oh, well, yeah, higher, but 11.
Oh, okay, so she does. So yep, so everybody but Diggory and Les smell the unmistakable smell of death and decay shambling towards you, and you can eventually hear the chattering of what you would understand would be a troop of ghouls, and they seem to be heading your direction.
Um, no.
And this is why we
well, we're
don't
dead.
bother the herd of Hadrosaurus. Crack my knuckles, take a stance, and hope we don't need to, but it's unlikely.
This is going to be a lot of fun. We're dead.
Forgot to attune to the mall. Oh well. Do so later tonight. Let us have ourselves a time, I suppose.
Okay, well, I need to get some tokens.
Oh, John, I put in general what Krug looks like now.
I saw it's about as horrifying as I expected.
Don't you agree? It looks like a Goron.
It does not.
Yep, he looks like a Goron now. Uh, really interesting Goron.
Yeah.
Also, the funny thing is, when he puts a helmet on, the cheeks are outside of the helmet.
Sounds about right.
Like the helmet's still sitting there, but the cheeks glitch through the helmet.
Okay, cool. This will be a fun fight.
Ah, you don't like it when the DM's like, okay, cool, yeah.
Although I admitted that the last time I said, "Ooh, this is going to be a fun fight," my attempts at making it fun were all resisted by the wild-shaped druid making like literally 3 individual nat 20 wisdom saves.
The party runs in, allows the ghoul troop to approach, and you find 10 ghouls led by a ghast that, upon seeing you, instantly become aggressive
Yep,
and,
this is.
and prepare for combat.
Yep, we are
Yippee
dead.
skippy.
Yep, we are dead.
All right. Diggory, please let that be. Yes, it is. Less. Is a bit more. I'm surprised that worked.
Yay, Idun goes first.
On the other hand, it could be, yay, Idun goes first, charges forward, does a breath attack, hits 6 of them.
Combat music
Or at
going
least was
on.
a number of them.
Don't hear any.
I've got my own personal
There we
combat
go.
music going as well.
Let me make sure I have 10 ghouls in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. All right.
The
Sending order.
crappiest undead Blood Bowl team. Whoops, all
Hey, but-
ghouls. No APO.
Hey, Bill.
Kill.
Hey, but at least they have dodge.
What undead team can actually get 11 ghouls?
None, because they're not the linemen.
I think the best you might be able to get is like maybe 3, 4? But with Shambling
Blood Bowl-
Undead and Necromantic Horror?
Yeah, in Blood Bowl 3 now you can get up to 4 on those teams.
Mm,
Well, I was really more thinking about the mixed team, Afterlife United.
I don't think you can even.
Well, I didn't think I'd live to see it, but for once they've given us something other than
Might
second-rate
be worth looking
entertainment.
later.
What's that? Third-rate entertainment.
But all right. Combat is starting. And first up is a Dune.
I love how I still roll one of the highest I've rolled for initiatives, and I'm still going last of our party.
Yep. Quack.
Okay. Gonna step here. And gonna use the short bow that I got.
Yay, short bow.
Gonna aim right at the main dude. That dude.
Okay.
Gotta kill the leader. The head coach.
22 will hit.
Aim for Vera Ghoul Chewer.
For 8.
For 8.
Yep. And nothing in my boober.
What,
Wow.
what great nerds are we that everything we do just devolves back into Blood Bowl terms.
The greatest of nerds.
Indeed.
In the session 0 about.
Anything else you are doing, Idun?
Well, I have another attack that I can do as well.
Okay.
I was looking up the ammo for, the re-getting ammo.
Gotcha.
Each shot fired, roll d20. Okay. For shooting ammo, is it when you shoot or is it when we go to pick up?
For
Retrieving.
oh, that's when you go to pick it. That's at the end of the battle when you go to pick it up.
Okay. So starting off with 30, and that is 1 shot. Well, it's going to be 2 shots at this point. So another shot with the short bow. 13.
A 13 will hit just right on.
Nice. For 7.
Then any other actions you are taking?
That's it.
Ramira, you're up.
Alright. I'm gonna just step forward a bit. I'm gonna throw one of my hand axes at this leader here.
Okay.
See if I can't get
Who
my
wants the battle?
mastery on them.
– 17 hits.
It's only going to be 6 damage, but hand axes have Vex, and that mastery allows me to have a advantage on my next attack on them before the end of my next turn. But I will
Anything
stay
else
right
you are
here. I'm gonna, well, bonus action, I'm gonna activate my rage, because there's no way I'm not gonna be raging through this, so.
Wow.
Okay. So
Wah.
the gas turn. the guest is going to charge forward towards Ramira.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun,
And
dun,
then-
dun, dun.
Take a swing with its claw.
The claw.
The claw.
The
A
clan.
Misses. And that is the guest's turn. Which will put us to Shauna.
Let's see. Me thinking. Thinking is me. So,
Oh, wait.
I'm going to start this off with Chromatic Orb, because why not? At level 2s!
Okay.
Rawr!
What?
With cold damage.
Okay.
Blast away. The 22 hits.
Yep, hitting the ghoul.
What's
And
your damage? Your cold orb smacks into the ghast as Ramiro watch its body freeze and crack and then crumble as it collapses to the ground, no longer animated as an undead.
and run up to here in reaction mode. Standing up for defense.
All right.
That's like the highest I ever actually rolled and killed something in one hit.
Chromatic
Well,
Orb's a
things
good
like-
spell.
It also helped that the thing was hit 3 times before prior.
Also true.
So this school is going to take the dash and move into range with Shauna. As is the next ghoul, charging forward all the way down to here.
Oh no,
It is
They
Les's
have-
turn.
All right.
they're gonna have a higher rolling damage.
Well, I already made the less is more joke, so I'm going to refrain a second time.
More is less.
Yes. And so here comes more of her. As she is going to cast Eldritch Blast, splitting the 2 beams between both of those ghouls that just charged Shauna. So the first one
Okay.
against left. And of course.
9 will miss.
Nah,
And the second one against right.
right.
21 will hit.
All right. For a total
Push
Good.
back 10 feet.
of 6 points of force damage and charisma repelling blast. Yes, 10 feet.
To there.
You know what I'm surprised you did not do?
What?
Hunger of Hadar. In between. In
Mm.
as a
You know, that's actually a good point.
right there.
Isn't Hunger
Or-
of Hadar centered around the user or something?
No, it has
150.
150-foot range. Plus, I have it's a warlock cantrip. So yeah, so it's 150-foot range. I thought for a second it was 180 feet. Anywho, continue on.
Yep.
That'll be my
Right.
turn.
Ghoul number 1 here. It will take a dash.
Ooh. Yeah, if you had put it right there, boom.
Yeah.
All the way over
Launch.
to here.
Well, we'll see what happens next round.
Yep.
This ghoul 5, 10, will run up to Shauna and actually get to take a swing. And it will attack with its claw.
The claw. And miss horrifically to the point that it.
We rolled double 12, so
12 does not hit.
Yep.
What hit less?
Lord Diggory, you're up.
oh, you mean I can actually do things? All right.
No.
I don't know about that,
10,
but
15, 20, 25, 30. Then drop Shadow 15 feet away from me, so 3 spaces directly north, if you don't mind.
I had him ready this time.
Ah, you know what I'm planning on doing. 2 attacks from Shadow Diggory at the guy next to him because I can. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Christ on a bike.
14 hit.
All right. 4d8. Rolled another 2. 8 on that one, and a second attack.
19 hits.
All right. For another 10. Total of 18.
That's still standing.
And because of Crusher feet, it's 10 feet away.
Anything else you are doing, Lord Diggory?
Well, actually, I'm gonna retcon that because like each Crusher only does like 5 actually, so I'm gonna use that and just have like Diggory and like Shadow is following up as that goes, and so that's about it. But yeah.
Okay.
As long as Shadow's not more than 30 feet away from me, he's fine.
My scythe has taken a chunk out of a bot. Yes.
All right. Well, before I get to all of these ghouls' actions, I'm gonna go start a fire really quick.
Has our DM been a pyromaniac this entire time?
Yes.
Yes, very much.
One of those best viewer bots was in the chat, and I just went. Bing!
No, it must have been in the other chat because it wasn't in mine.
Yep, it was in Kaylee's. Kaylee needs help with one thing. Setting up that sort of light in D&D Beyond.
Hmm.
Because I still have that.
Oh yeah.
I still have that sword and haven't actually been using it because
We don't have its stat
When-
line.
mm-hmm. I could be using it here against these ghouls and zombies and everything else.
It is a long
Yes?
sword base for everything for that, as I've swear I've said multiple times, but that's perfectly fine. Um, somebody wants to help make it, I can do that later on for it too. But time for some ghoul action. All right, this one is going to. There's only one target that's actually in range that it sees, and it is going to take a swing with its claw.
Remembering that
The
my shadow has the
claw.
same AC as I do, so 20.
Oh, we have 19 for your AC.
Ring of protection.
Okay, update that. Okay. The one that you punched really good doesn't have to move, so it's going to just do the same thing.
Whew. Glad for the ring.
It tried.
Very hard.
This one sees its friends swarming.
It's a good thing that they don't have that stat. They don't have that trait.
Mm-hmm.
And that one will find purchase.
All right. My shadow has exactly 1 HP, so it poofs.
It goes away.
It did its job.
I can just see it flashing, actually finding it, and then just keep swinging because it's
This ghoul
Because
will
it
see
thinks that it
an
was
open
real.
target and charge towards Diggory using a dash action, so it cannot attack. However, this one up front will charge towards you and will take a swing at you.
11 misses.
And this one will wrap around and come to your side. Targeting you with its claw.
11
Really
misses
the
again.
exact same thing. Hey, Dune, you're up.
Okay. Five, 10, 15,
Wow.
25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Good old 45.
Why do we always come here?
I guess we'll never know.
It's like a kind of torture to
You'll have to watch the show.
Punch the cap.
Normal bludgeoningness.
A 10 will miss.
Okay.
That must be very embarrassing.
Next punch.
The follow-up does not miss.
And
It is still standing.
so and do flurry of blows bonus action.
Yeah. Okay.
Is 2 attacks.
Flurry away.
1.
13 hits and kills it.
Well, don't need to follow up.
As you feel its skull cave in underneath your first blow from your flurry, you watch as it just collapses into a heap at your feet.
And that's it.
Ramira, you're up.
Okay. Run up to him. Reckless attack. Back with frenzy.
Alrighty.
Everybody else have
That's
20.
26 definitely hits.
Okay. Initial and next turn 6. Oh,
And with that
21 and
mighty
27.
frenzied blow, you lop off the ghoul's head, and the body collapses instantly in one blow.
Wonderful. That'll be it for my turn then.
Ghast is dead, and Shauna, you're up.
Okay. So, I am going to attack again. Attack. This one right here.
Okay, directly to your left.
Wow. Hmm.
21 hits.
Or 14.
You take a massive chunk out of it, but it's still standing.
Still standing. No, it shouldn't be standing. And I don't think that I have an additional action.
Everybody should have at least 2 attacks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All the martial classes at least should have them all 2 attacks.
Yep.
Yep, action in combat. Although I could use mine.
You could bonus action smite if you wanted to.
Yep, bonus action smite. So. Yes. For 5.
Okay. It's still alive, but it does look very weak.
Attack again! Because I can. I think.
Yes, you can.
And that will probably miss.
11 will miss. What
Well,
does
it will-
Graze do?
It will graze it. Graze is basically hitting anyways, but for half.
no, it's Graze is hits with whatever your attack modifier is.
If you attack roll with a great sword misses a creature, you can deal damage to it equal to the ability modifier used to make the attack.
So 3. So you do 3 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that 3 damage from the Graze is enough to kill the ghoul.
Yay! And that's my turn.
Alright. That ghoul is dead. That ghoul is alive and still sees Shauna right in front of it, so it's going to attack.
The mindless creature that it is.
Not exactly mindless, but not very not intelligent. A 17 looks like it hits you.
It does hit.
You will take 8 slashing damage, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Mm. Yep, and I could react against that if I wanted to. Or,
You would have a reaction, yes.
yep, because I can. I'll do the Constitution saving throw.
You pass.
And then.
It takes 4 damage from your retribution, basically. And that is its action.
Yeah,
Yes.
when you take damage from a creature within 10 feet of you, you can use your reaction to force the creature to make a strength saving throw.
No, well, hold on. I need to make a strength saving throw then before it takes that 4 damage.
And if it fails, it will take the damage and then be pushed away.
How far is it pushed away?
Uh, 10 feet.
Dune, you have a new friend.
Just all of a sudden, you see it just go gliding across the floor, still standing.
All right, Les is up now.
All right, and Les is actually going to think back on what people said and will actually cast Hunger of Adar. Actually, actually in such a way that'll catch all 6 of them. Now you might be
Like that?
saying, "Yep, like that." Might be saying, "But Chun, that'll catch your character as well," and you'd be right. I'm accounting for this.
I forgot how much damage did I
100.
take?
You
Thank
took
you for
8.
that. I'm trying to
8. Okay.
slowly losing my mind, forgetting what the hotkey commands to draw circles are. Oh, there it is.
It's in the paint.
Yeah. Okay, there it is. There's the snap.
And measurements are also in circles.
Wait,
That is
put that 20 foot back up there again. Man, I'm having a close enough.
good enough for government work.
Yeah.
All right, what's the spell do so I can make what I need?
Hunger of Adar. You open a gateway to the far realm, a region infested with unspeakable horrors. A 20-foot radius sphere, darkness appears, blah 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 blah. The sphere is difficult terrain, filled with strange whispers and stubborn noises, heard up to 30 feet away. No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area, and creatures fully within it have the blinded condition. Any creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6 cold damage. Any creature that ends its turn there must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 acid damage from otherworldly tentacles.
Okay, so they just start out taking 2d6 damage, and then at the end of the turn, they'll also take 2d6 if they fail. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm just going to pull this up on my other screen here. So I can just keep remembering about it.
Sure.
Alright, let's see. This ghoul is dead. The next ghoul is dead. It is Diggory's turn, who takes 2d6 cold damage. I'll roll that.
Okay. Ignore that one then.
No, see, that's why. So at the beginning of your turn, you just automatically take
Well,
2d6 cold
I
damage.
know, but I rolled it just as you were saying, I'll roll that. I was like, oh, okay. Ignore me rolling it then. That's...
Oh, gotcha. It takes 7 points.
Doesn't matter. We rolled the
You
same
took
thing
a-
anyway.
Just two
Literally
different
the exact
numbers.
same damn thing. Oh, well, maybe not. Well, 5, 2, 6, 1. What does it matter? Anywho, so yeah. Diggory takes 7 points of cold damage. That's perfectly fine. So, make sure all that is properly applied. I am then going to manifest Echo 15 feet south of me again. That's a bonus action. I'm then going to use as an action. I'm going to magically swap places with my Echo. Leaving the area of cold and not having any attacks of opportunity made against me.
Yay!
And then your shadow instantly dies. Because
And
it's
then
gonna take the acid damage.
Well, when you
And
can
then, yeah.
when you can summon the shadow for free.
Well, your shadow does get to make a dexterity check.
All right,
To-
so
to
one quick dexterity save. It's a DC 15. I very nearly could have made that if those dice were reversed.
Yep, and the shadow goes poof.
It would have gone poof no matter what, because it would take half damage.
Does it? But frankly, what does it matter? I only took 7 damage myself. I hit.
No, it's all or nothing for the save.
It is?
Yep.
Yep, you must succeed a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 acid damage from otherworldly tentacles. So, on my next turn, he would have gone poof, but that's beside the point.
That's gonna be a fun combo coming up then.
All right, so let's see.
What,
Sean, you can go ahead and...
me constantly being able to get myself out of a situation that I can bait?
No. When I grow a 1 level, I instantly pass any dexterity saving throw.
Neat. Even better.
John, if you want to roll damage for Hunger of Hadar.
Oh, sure. It's all right. I'm losing my absolute mind here.
Aren't we all?
We're all mad here.
I was locked
course, I
up
rolled
in
a
the box
3.
once.
All right, that one takes 3 damage, and
I'm
since
not
it is
gonna-
blind.
I'm not gonna continue that.
Let's see what direction it decides to go in. So it runs out this direction 30 feet.
Difficult
Finally,
terrain.
is able to. All right, you can move 15 feet. And it will take the dash to finish up the 15 feet and end up there.
As
Trying
long
to
as
figure out,
it eats up its actions.
as long as it's trying to figure out what the heck is going on. This ghoul,
Hunger of Hadar.
roll me that damage.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse.
It's enough to drop it
Oh.
dead.
Well, he did get hit with two left hooks from the shadow at the beginning of the combat, so yeah.
This one. Go ahead and roll me that next damage.
There we go. There's an actual good answer. 10.
Oh. I crit 10 too.
Well, only because a 6 was a part of it.
Roll the D100s.
It is going to
I'm
go
kidding.
1, 5, 10, 15, 5, and end up here. As Dash no longer blind, it can see Diggory, so it's going to take its last couple of steps down here. And that is its action. Next damage for this guy right here.
Total of 8.
What direction are these guys going? Five. It comes out here. No, it loses the blind and sees Diggory standing right in front of it. And will take the opportunity to swing with its claw.
8 does not work.
This one.
One moment, please.
Mm-hmm.
Please hold for acid damage.
Yeah.
5.
Minus 5. In what direction are you going? Five, 10, 15. Dash. 5, 10, 15. It wonders what the heck's going on. And last but not least, the last one that's in the hunger.
Another 10.
What way are you going? It also goes this direction and finds Diggory. And will take a swing with its claw.
19 just misses.
So close.
Indeed.
So that we are now at Idune's turn.
Who's ready for more punching?
Not the ghouls.
Too bad.
15 hits for the 7.
Right in the ghoulies, though.
And one more punch. 12.
Sure you can.
12 hits. Well, it will still be standing, just barely, though. You can almost hear a faint sound in the distance. Finish him.
Oh
Finish
my
him.
god.
Fatality.
And bonus extra punch.
Da-da-da-da.
Fatality.
All of a sudden, Idun just picks him up
Idun
and
wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
And I'll just end it right there.
All right. Ramira.
rips him apart.
Yeah, I'll go this direction and take this guy out. Reckless and frenzy as usual. Oh, so
Hey. The 11 misses.
fucking second try then. Keep trying. Reckless.
17 hits.
Sweet. Alright. 16.
You win. Perfect.
You cleave the ghoul in two, splitting it from head to leg.
Awesome.
Game. Perfect. You win.
Gast is
They went from the
dead.
Mortal
Sean, you're up.
Kombat 2 to Street Fighter 4.
Smash.
See something while I have a few moments. Well, Shauna, it's your turn.
So, gonna move over here. Und. Mama. Bada 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 ba. Level 2. I am going to cast Moonbeam. Right up here.
Okay. Let's see if it
Brings out your
saves.
brush and circles a moon around the zomboid.
It saves the deck save.
And I am doing and that is the moonbeam.
So what? Roll your damage, or it's 14 damage, so it takes 7 damage. Okay. The next two ghouls are dead, so it is Les's turn. What more can she do?
Oh, that is a good question. I go 1, 2, 3, just because I feel like moving her. And because I'm just cheap, and I don't want to use my other spell for no reason. And an Eldritch Blast. I'm gonna use two Eldritch. I'm gonna split the Eldritch Blast on the other two ghouls on the far right side.
Okay.
First one to the top. Please be the proper one. Damn it,
21 hit.
Hull. Yeah. Can I roll more than a 2 on these to save my life? And a second. And that gets pushed 10 feet back. And the second one at the bottom.
Don't forget that we have inspiration. Probably.
Sure, but I rolled max on that one, so 14 on the second one. And it just
So
explodes.
that one dies as that one's body is hurled into the forest to disappear amongst the shrubberies.
I Helldivers that one.
Zawardo.
All right, let's see. The next two ghouls are dead.
Watch, this
Diggory.
next one's gonna happen, do the exact same thing as more unarmed strikes strike the thing's head. 25 to hit.
25. Definitely hits.
14.
And yes, as your punch lands into its face, it goes flying back into the hunger to be enwrapped in the tentacles.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't quite make it to anything else. And since I've already used my attack action, I can't use Firebolt, so I'm just gonna end.
Okay. This ghoul, it is sensing it done fucked up. And it's taking off the way that it came. As is the other ghoul.
Shucks, I messed up.
And with that, the area goes quiet, except for the writhing of the unearthly tentacles. And the and you are able to collect yourselves. But we will do that for the next time, as we will just wrap up here for this one for now.
Sure.
Next session shall be longer, more dangerous, potentially. I don't know. You guys are already at the level cap for this part of the adventure, so I now need to throw harder things at you.
Did we
Yeah.
get level?
Now, see,
No.
I'm kidding.
yeah, you would think that'd be easier throwing harder things at you, but then you realize, holy fuck! Even when you adjust a few things, your party still completely wiped the floor with that Rakshasa you threw at them. They were level 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yuck. I'm in danger.
But that was a good session, if a little short, but next time we will get back to some longer stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Indeed, that
Hopefully
was
you all
very fun.
enjoyed. And for everybody out there in Twitch land, which is just Kitsu here today,
Well, there's that broken heckle.
thank you guys so much for watching, even if you're watching the VOD or whatever, or watching this on my YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys checking this out, and stay tuned for the next couple weeks. Hopefully, just a couple weeks this time for the next session.
Yeah, and over on my side, same sort of deal. Kitsu's the only one in my chat, so yeah, heckle away, all. We'll see you, and thank you all for hanging around, chatting, being all around cool dudes. I will see you all in the next one, probably in 2 weeks' time, right? Or was it next week, because we're on the off thing or whatever.
No, I'm gonna try for 2 weeks again, go back to normal schedules and stuff like that.
Okay. All right,
Trying.
sure.
All right, everybody, have a great night.
Yep, all y'all, I'll see you in the next one. Where are the buttons? I'm off to do my own Japanese Duolingo. I've got a week streak going. I've talked so much about green tea, rice, and water, I'm beginning to actually care to try green tea.